Hi Jeane, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and this is your new Kenmore 1400. What a great machine. This machine is in such good shape. It's almost brand new. It's like it's almost not been used at all. There are a few little weird paint chips on the bed that don't seem to have much relation to sewing, so I'm not sure what happened there, if they dropped a handful of fish tank pebbles on it or what, but other than that it's like almost brand new. Somebody didn't sew much on this machine. Anyway, this is the final test before we pack her up to ship her out to you, and in this test we're going to go over the basic operation of the machine, how to thread the machine, how to wind the bobbin, how to set the various controls. And you may already know all of this, but if you need a little brush up, it'll be here for you. So let's start by winding a bobbin. You'll find your bobbin down here. Oh, by the way, this is you pull this plate off and you put your bobbin winder plate on here. I would suggest you go to YouTube, or just do an internet search on how to use the buttonholer. But this thing here is the actuator that moves the buttonholer. Pretty cool system. Your bobbin is in the bobbin case below the needle plate here. Be sure that your needle is up out of the needle hole before you try to take it out. And as long as you're holding this little lever, your bobbin won't drop out. But let that go and you can drop your bobbin out and wind the bobbin. There's a lot of thread on there already. So I'm going to show you briefly how to wind a bobbin by winding thread over this, which is something I never do. But I'll pull all the thread off before I send it on to you. So your bobbin winder is on the top here. There's a little tension device right here that keeps the thread snug on the bobbin. So I'm going to take the bobbin off of there and put the spool, calling that a bobbin, it's not, it's a spool. Put the spool on the spool pin and go around this little tension device. You can slip it right in there. It's spring loaded in the clockwise direction all the way around, so the thread crosses over itself and comes back here to the bobbin winder area. Preferably, of course, you'll want to use an empty bobbin to do this, but put your thread through one of the holes in the side of the bobbin and give it several wraps to hold the thread in place while the bobbin winds. And then with the thread coming off the top in this direction, put the bobbin on the bobbin winder spindle, press the actuator into the bobbin, and as the bobbin fills, this is the thread is going to push it further and further and further out until it pops free when the bobbin is full, so it doesn't make a mess all over. Anyway, press that actuator in. Declutch your machine by turning the chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you, a quarter turn or so. Until you feel it hit its stop. And then you're ready to wind the bobbin. So give it a little gas, no reason to go fast. I mean, you can go fast, but you're more likely to tangle thread if you do that. But here we go. Okay, so you just give it a little gas, and it winds bobbin. So as I said, I'm going to pull all that thread off of there. So when you're done winding the bobbin, you just push that out and you're no longer bobbin winding, and then you want to tighten the clutch knob in the center of your hand wheel. So pulling the thread off of the bobbin. with the thread coming off of the top of the bobbin in this direction, drop the bobbin into the bobbin case. And drop the bobbin into the bobbin case and direct the thread into this little slanted slot down here. And up under the flat leaf spring, which is your lower tension, and the thread kind of clicks into place so you know you've got it. With this little thumb pointing up, because there's a cutout that's made for it right here in your in the hook and bobbin section. You want that pointing up so it'll go right into its slot. Hold the lever out to lock your bobbin in place so it doesn't drop out, and slide the bobbin case onto the spindle of the hook, which is down here. Make sure it goes all the way on, that that little thumb goes into the slot that's made for it, so it's not going to drop out. Put your slide plate back on, and we're ready to thread the machine. Put the thread on the spool pin, go into the thread guide on the back, the thread guide on the front, right down between the discs of the tension assembly, and come all the way around until you catch this little thin check spring here. Keep on pulling up until your thread goes into the notch at the top here. Then when you pull up on your thread, you'll see that check spring move back and forth. You know you got it right. Go into this thread guide here, through the take-up lever, which is the thing that goes up and down when you're sewing. Being very careful not to accidentally wrap around something it's not supposed to. Into this thread guide here, into this thread guide here, into this thread guide down here, and through the eye of the needle from the front towards the back. And I always cut a fresh end on the thread so there's not little frayed ends pushing the thread away from the eye of the needle. It. Now, holding your thread loosely, turn the hand wheel towards you one full revolution, and the needle will take the thread down, and the hook will pick it up from the needle and wrap it around the bobbin case and bring up your lower thread. And there it is, the lower thread. Put the thread between the toes of the presser foot towards the back of the machine. And now we're ready to sew. All right, I'm traveling. I don't have all my supplies. I'm a little short on test fabric, but we're going to just keep using this one until we fill it all up. Over here is your, oh, let's start up here. This lever has two settings. You can go to the orange side or the white side. The orange side is just regular sewing, just regular straight ahead sewing. When you turn it over to the white dot, then you're doing stretch stitches, which go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, and lay down really cool, intricate stitches while they're doing it. I'm going to set the stitch length at about 12 stitches per inch. And the stitch width, we're going to start with 0 and just do a straight stitch. This is the selector for all the different cool patterns that you can sew with this machine. But we're going to set it on S for straight stitch, and so a straight stitch. This down here is your feed dogs. You can drop your feed dogs so they're no longer moving the fabric. If you want to be able to do free motion sewing of any sort, like darning or patching or applique or quilting, turn this lever to the left, and the feed dogs will drop below the needle plate, and they won't come up and touch your fabric at all. Press down on this little collar on the, this is the adjuster for the foot pressure on your fabric. Press down on this little collar and that'll pop up, and your foot pressure is gone, and now you can move your fabric around and write your name or draw pictures or whatever you want to do. When you're ready to go back to regular sewing, you want to put this down about halfway, roughly, ballpark. For light duty fabric, you may want a little less pressure. For heavy fabric, you may want more pressure, but we'll go down about halfway. Turn your feed drop back to the U position for up, of course. Your tension, let's see, where do we have it set on this machine? Oh, I see. Okay. There's a little white dot down here that you that's your indicator. I'm going to set it on 3. That's kind of a ballpark, you know, for regular thread, regular fabric. But this is your upper tension, and that's what pulls up the bottom thread. So if your bottom thread is ever loose and loopy, you, for some reason, don't have enough upper tension, whether it's not set right, whether you missed something in the thread path, for whatever reason you don't have upper tension, then you get loose thread on the bottom. But we're going to set it about 3, and away we go. 12 stitches per inch, straight stitch. Yeah, here we go. Oops. Put it back on regular instead of stretch stitch. There we go. Reverse is over here. And then corresponding to the orange dot, there are stitch patterns all the way around this dial here for regular straight ahead sewing, and that's pretty straightforward and easy to understand. Turn this lever over to the white dot, and now you're sewing the stretch stitches, and there's some cool options there. We're going to start by just sewing a straight stitch, but it's going to lay down 3 stitches for every stitch position. So. Now we can turn the stitch width up, so now we're making a zigzag stretch stitch, which just looks like a thicker zigzag, but it's got its uses. Ooh, that's nice looking. Nice looking on both sides. This is such a cool machine. Oh, and by the way, we just sewed over a super thick pair of Jeane's leg seam. Didn't even notice it. Strong machine. We're going to go to a different one. This one's got a name that I don't know, but it's kind of a diamond stitch pattern. For that, you want to go to a short stitch length, not all the way down into the closest stitch length, like for your satin stitch, but down low. And we'll set the stitch width at around 2. Here we go. Yeah, looking good. It's well balanced on the front and the back of the fabric. Of course, when you're sewing, you'll be able to check it and see if it looks right on the back, or if it needs a little more tension or a little less tension. But this is looking good. Let's do one more. Pull the needle up out of the fabric so we don't bend the needle, and we're going to go to the next one, which kind of looks like a railroad bridge design. It's probably got a name too. For that one, let's see, we're going to go to a wider stitch width, maybe 4, and maybe slightly longer stitch length. We're going to go over that seam right here too in about 1 inch. Look at that, didn't even notice it. That's about it. There are more stitch patterns for you to experiment with, but it's looking good, looking real good. I think you're going to be really, really happy with this machine. I think it's going to bring back some memories for you. Oh, and the light switch. So it's also the off for the whole machine. If your machine's not going, check and make sure that this is turned on. Oil it every 8 hours or so of sewing. You know, if you sew like an hour a day, you know, it might take 8 days before you need to oil it. Or if you sew 16 hours a day, you might have to oil it twice. I'll see if I can find a user manual for you. It'll have an oiling guide in it. If I don't find one and send it to you, just go online and look for a manual for this model. The model number is right down here on this little plate here, 158.14,000. This thing here is going to get in your way when you go to put the cover on. It almost always is in the wrong position when you try to put the cover on, and you go, why isn't the cover going on? That's why. Make sure that's in the up position, locking the bed down. I'm going to put some packing material inside the base of the machine, under the machine. So make sure that you raise the machine and take all the styrofoam out before you try to sew on this machine. If you run the machine with the styrofoam in there, Lord only knows what'll happen. So that's it. I hope this is everything that you ever wanted in a sewing machine, and that you're happier than ever with it. And again, thank you. If this is somebody else who's come here from somewhere on the internet and found this video, we are Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine. We are an internationally known 5-star sewing machine restoration shop. We've been doing this since the 1990s, and we're good at it. We do good work. If you want to have your mom's or your grandma's machine restored, get in touch with us, and we'll see what we can do for you. That's SRVSew, so SRVSew @gmail.com. That's for Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine Restoration. But anyway, SRVSew @gmail.com. And that's it. Bye.